Robert. Christopher's on the line. Christopher, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Joe.
And how much did you give to Tony Quinn?
£12,000 sterling.
12,000 sterling?
Yes.
And what was the course?
It was equivalent to €18,000.
At the time. And what course did you go on?
I went on the first seminar.
How long did that last?
2 weeks.
And what did you think of that?
Well, I'll be honest with you, when I was on the seminar, I didn't actually enjoy the first week. In fact, it wasn't until I got home that I actually thought it was money reasonably well spent.
For what?
Well, I got a lot of small goals out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, can I interrupt there, yeah?
Yes, Robert.
Yeah, we're actually programmed during that first seminar to believe that we have spent our money well and wisely.
Well, at the time when I was on the seminar, I didn't think I did.
You didn't think you did or did?
No, I didn't think. At the time, I was there for 1 week and I was coming home.
Right, yeah.
But it wasn't until we were then assured that it would take the 2 weeks for the of lectures and relaxation classes for it to work, and it did. But mind you, one of the reasons why it didn't work for me was because a lot of Americans who were on the seminar were a little bit over-exuberant in their relaxation classes. Totally threw me. Irish people are not the type of person to portray their feelings or their emotions openly. Americans are. And a lot of Irish people on the seminar felt the same way I did.
Well, that's possibly why then the Irish, which would be the majority of people that would have attended the seminars, are loath to come out and admit that they have been duped in relation to spending loads of money.
Well, I wouldn't say I was duped, to be honest with you. Definitely wasn't duped. I believe it was money well spent.
Well, I would absolutely dispute that now. I came away from the seminar thinking that it was money well spent.
I am not involved in the oil. I have no intention of getting involved in the oil.
What is this oil and Tony Quinn?
It's
bizarre.
Oil that has been struck in Belize.
Yeah, but Tony Quinn is a self-help New Age guru, isn't he? What's that got to do with oil?
I have absolutely no idea, Joe. I know that the information I got from the seminar was beneficial to me. I cherry-picked what I wanted, and I got what I wanted. I didn't get everything, but nobody gets everything in this.
You can cherry pick any of these books nowadays, and get
sure you can.
And it doesn't cost you over €18,000. It'll just cost you a few euro or a few quid in Eason's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the guy that I was rooming with in the Bahamas is a very, very, very sensible fellow. He's from Tull, County Carlow. Very sensible fellow. I've made great friends with him. He's not involved in the oil. Not by any means. He's just an ordinary, hard-working...
Christopher, what did your friends and family think of you going on this course?
Ooh.
And spending that amount of money?
Well, how to answer that?
Well, I can tell you it nearly ruined my marriage.
Why? Why, Robert?
Well, because we're also programmed on these courses to be exceedingly defensive of Tony Quinn. And when we get back, anything that was ever said against him, I sort of automatically jumped on the bandwagon and tried to defend Tony Quinn and everything that he was doing. And that it was money well spent. But I can assure you now that it's not. Yeah?
How much are the oil shares at the moment, Robert? Can you tell me?
I'm not prepared to discuss that over the phone.
Sorry,
what is interesting is...
Christopher, sorry, what was that question?
How much are the oil shares at the moment?
Well, to be able to value the oil shares at the moment, it would be necessary to see the company's accounts, yeah? And the company has failed to produce accounts since its inception. And how people in Ireland and people abroad in America and Belize...
What's the company called, by the way?
The company is called International Natural Energy, right? And how people have managed to be duped, or not so much duped, but how people have actually purchased shares without investigating fully the company. And you can only do that by seeing the annual audited accounts, which should be freely open and free for members of the company to see, and these have been denied to us by Tony Quinn, who is a director.
Who else goes on these courses? Christopher, who else was on the course you were on? What country were you? You're in the Bahamas.
Yeah. There was a guy from Carrickmacross, a guy from County Carlow, a lady from Cork. A lot of American executives do tend to go on it, and, you know, there was a guy there who was an oil executive. The one I was on, the Prime Minister of Belize turned up for 2 days.
Well, that's where they discovered the oil.
Saeed Musa, is that his name?
That Prime Minister would be Saeed Musa,
That's right.
who is in court at present in Belize for embezzling $10 million from Venezuela.
Well,
So Tony Quinn has associated
Belize
himself
is not
with...
the only country with that problem.
Well, Tony Quinn has associated himself by trying to run a seminar for the government of Belize. Now, this is the past government, the government that failed to get in again on the last election. And it's now turning out that he's been training and involved with alleged bunch of crooks.
Well, Joe, all I can say is I've done one seminar. I definitely wouldn't do the Mine Master seminar and pay that type of money for it. I cherry-picked what I got out of it. I'm quite happy to have spent the money. I've had a few small goals, one medium-sized goal. I'm quite happy.
Can I ask your other caller what he does for a living?
Oh, I'm self-employed.
Self-employed?
Yes.
Right, it's just I thought I recognised your voice as a fellow educist. Yeah, and there's a betting organisation in the north here which is pretty global, and I think you work for them.
No, absolutely not.
No.
If you knew what I did for a living, you would laugh. Actually, how do I put it now? Tony says I gives a lot of information on the seminar. And I know a few people who have gone out and spent a lot of money and perhaps haven't had the success that they possibly deserved. And I feel sorry for those people. But I certainly wouldn't go out and borrow an extreme amount of money and do something like that. How would I? I got what I wanted out of it anyway.
Okay. Robert.
Tony's whole philosophy is based on using OPM, which basically stands for other people's money, right? And he encourages, or his people who encourage people to go on seminars, encourage people to use other people's money. And his whole philosophy in life is to just obtain other people's money. And that's it.
Patrick is on the line. 51551 text. Patrick in Cork. Go ahead, Patrick.
Are you?
Go ahead, yeah.
Happy New Year to you.
You too.
I was just saying there to your reporter that some years ago there I went into one of his clinics. I had a neck problem, so then I paid my, whatever it was, £30, whatever it was. And so I went to the room and there's find a robe inside and I could undress. So I said, well, all I want is a neck massage. I just take off my shirt. So when the young lady came in anyway, she proceeded and I looked up anyway, and there was a big photograph of Tony Quinn with all these candles burning around his photograph. And
What are you saying, like a halo?
Yeah. All right round, the whole complete circle. And I just got a bit of a shudder because I'm a kind of a middle-of-the-road Catholic. And I just said to the young lady, you've never heard anybody talking about Jesus nowadays, I said. And she didn't budge a word. So I just finished and went out and never went back.
Did they do anything for your bad back?
No, my wife done more for me.
Okay. Thanks indeed, Robert Henshaw. Thanks, Christopher. And thanks, Patrick. Back after this break.